Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy recently unveiled a package of new initiatives, pilot programs, and regulatory changes to the long-haul trucking industry. For many, it's a welcome relief from the challenges the industry has faced in recent years. Joining us now to discuss this and so much more is Mr. Mike Kucharski. He's the co-owner and vice president of JKC Trucking, and yet again kind enough to join us on the Live Zone. Always good to see you, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on your show.
All right, so this is a big deal, specifically affecting those that happen to be in the trucking industry. I'm hoping you can elaborate with regard to how it's affecting you, your colleagues, in the whole realm of trucking.
So yeah, there's a couple things that happen. We have the withdrawal of the speed limiter rule. We have the safe truck parking. But the big reason, I think, the two main issues that are coming out are the double brokering and the freight fraud drives up prices. You know, cargo theft and freight fraud are reshaping trucking operations. Cargo theft has cost the trucking industry an estimated about $800 million to $1 billion annually. And the federal government is acknowledging a problem that's always been there. The question we should be asking is, how do we let this level of fraud get so out of control that the federal government now has to step in? You know, this will raise awareness in the industry to help carriers protect assets, which helps level the playing field for the cost of groceries, etc. You know, example, a truckload of avocados is picked up in Texas, bound for a grocery store, a grocery warehouse in Illinois, but never arrives. The broker gets ghosted. The carrier that showed up wasn't the one booked, and the goods are unrecoverable. That costs about over $150,000. You know, it gets passed down the chain to the shippers, to stores, to the end user, the consumer. When fraud happens in the trucking industry, it doesn't just hurt one company. It drives up the prices for everybody, your groceries, your furniture, even your holiday packages, etc.
Yeah, yet again, all of this coming to play with regard to the executive order signed by President Trump. We also know that it allocates some $275 million to expand truck parking nationwide, addressing shortages that force drivers to stop in unsafe locations. Mike, it's 2025. Yet again, we're dealing with something like this. It's hard to believe.
It's unbelievable. You know, this is one of my favorite things about this bill is that, you know, the safe truck parking that has been an old issue, never fixed until now. Overall, the allocation is fostering a safer, more efficient trucking sector, directly benefiting about over 3 million drivers who move only 72% of the U.S. freight. You know, this directly targets a longstanding parking crisis, a severe nationwide shortage of parking spots where demand exceeds the supply by estimating about 40,000 spots, forcing about 70% of drivers to park in unauthorized or hazardous locations like highways, shoulders, ramps, or at least once a week. You know, groups like Women in Trucking highlight benefits for female drivers who often face additional security concerns in makeshift parking areas. By addressing this, the initiative is enhancing driver safety, regulatory compliance, operational efficiency, and overall supply chain reliability.
Yeah, well, one thing's for sure, the trucking industry is truly the lifeline of America. Yet again, we have been speaking with Mr. Mike Kucharski. He is the owner, or co-owner, I should say, and vice president of JKC Trucking, and yet again, kind enough to join us on the Live Zone. Good to see you, Mike. Make it a great day.
Thank you for your support.